How does this always end up happening? Okay, so my notes don't actually show a whole lot of updates that I would show to YouTube. I feel like I've maybe missed a couple in my change log. But either way, so I guess first things first, little small update. If you notice, it went straight to the main menu instead of showing that splash or that like one screen asking if you want to set it debug mode or not. I just have an override for that I set internally. That's still there. I just turned it off for sake of my own time. But small little change. Down here, every time I would like move on the menu or like the world map, it would display whatever key I pressed, and I mean it still flickers, but it would noticeably move some screen elements sometimes. And you can see it no longer does that, and neither on the world map. Let's see. A small one. Let's go to load. If you notice, I have some save files here. All save files now have a date and time stamp on them. Let's go ahead and step back. And one other new thing I want to show off is let's go into scene 0 here. Well, actually, let's go into the menu and then go to quit. Yes. And let's go to extras. And then we now have a dialogue system, which I probably could have made dialogue using like the scene handler, but I decided it's just easier to not touch any of that code because it's kind of complicated. And I would have to modify it because it displays like the interact and the navigate tabs and all that. I didn't want to do that. So what I have is oh yeah, I guess it just dumps me straight into whatever. So this is just a test thingy that I set up. Where it says please select an option here would be like what somebody said to you, and then this is actually a randomly, or not randomly, but a dynamically generated list of the different options here. So if we go into data, dialogue, and then 0, if I were to add something like 7 and then something, it would automatically show up. And then I don't really have much in most of these, but yeah, this is a test here, has something. It just automatically adds all the options to the screen, and then so let's go ahead and run 1, and then I didn't change the text up here, but it could say something else, and then you have your next set of things. See, I only have 5 set, and it still shows up. Other than that, I changed a ton of internal things with it. I actually haven't shown the changelog yet, have I? Here's the changelog. A lot of this is just reworks or stuff that nobody really cares about. But you can see I added, or changed at least a fair few things, changed quite a bit of bugs, or I fixed quite a bit of bugs. So, but the main thing that I've been working on is this ANVIL.that here. Boot that up. See, we got this fancy logo here, and then I have a bunch of tools. You can see I moved the, where is it? The file monitor here, and the, this is my old map tool thing that I had, along with this alignment tool, which I've had forever, but never showed off, I don't think. And then you can also open the debugger, but that's still a separate thing. I just have it there as a convenient option. So, with the tile map editor, if we go in here, it's exactly how you remember, but see, we now have remove triggers and show triggers. So that's like when you're in the main thing, like when I touch that square I have for scene 0, that trigger then prompts me if I want to load scene 0, or like the teleporter I have like down in the corner or whatever. So let's go ahead and let's make a new trigger, which is just T. And then I have a couple of templates, so let's just make a blank one, and then it opens up Nano. All Linux people should know Nano. It's basically just a simple text editor. This would normally be where I'd type code for what the trigger does, but then if we hit Control X and then yes, now, unfortunately I couldn't find a good way to show it on the screen without doubling it in size, but if the cursor hovers over the tile, I can see that I have a trigger here. I can also just open up a list. So if this is 188, that's the cursor position value, and I can see that I have a trigger there. And you can see that cur lock is at 188 right now. And then I believe if I just hit T, yeah, it'll go straight back to editing it. And then if I want to remove it, I can hit R, and there's no longer a trigger there. I think that's the only new thing with the map tool. I actually don't know that I can go back to the main menu from that one. I'll have to look into that. So then we have an item tool, which it's pretty simple. Let's go ahead and let's modify an existing one. Did I show off the key? I don't know that I did. Anyway, let's go with Cool Rock. Just enter. Of course. Wait, did it say that I should? Oh, I bet it didn't like that there was a space in it. Let's just do SIGs. Alright, we'll have to put that in quotes. It's a good note for the future. Anyway, you can see, so this, since I chose to edit instead of create a new one, you can see I have my code that I use for the different parts of it. So this is the item thingy. This is like when you examine it in the inventory. So let's hit Control X, the item, okay, that's out of sync, but this is the script if you use the cigarettes. And then this is for like when it's on a map somewhere, if I go to pick it up or interact with it, all of this would run. Yeah, so that's pretty much the item tool. As you can see, it's kind of bugged, but it's just a development tool, so I don't care too much. But also, I know how to fix that. That's not a big deal. A small one. You've seen the file monitor. Not that exciting, but if you notice now, I can load a set of monitors. So let's load a test here. Test doesn't seem to work. Okay. The file monitor is 4, so let's load test 3. Yeah, that worked. And you can see I have previously set up 2 different things. I think I was just doing this one as literally just a test to see if it worked. But either way, I made these previously and exported the set so I can quickly load up a new set of monitors again. What else we got? The alignment tool is not that exciting. It basically just dumps a file, and then if I edit the file, it just automatically updates and shows where it would be aligned to on a box this big. So it's just useful for lining, like centering, like UI elements and stuff. So I guess now we'll show off the dialogue editor. It's pretty simple, new. We'll just call it YouTube, and it's nothing super fancy, but I can create a new fork by just pressing 0 to 9. So let's just do 1, and the string for it would be hello. And then if you notice text block here, that's what it displays. Like that's what the person would be saying to me. So let's go ahead and hit edit text block, and we'll change that to hey you. And then if I hit I gotta hit M to move the fork, and then we'll go into 1, and we have the stuff there. That just changes a fork's name. can exit that, create a new fork, remove a fork, and then yeah, and then V goes back. Not very complicated, but it doesn't really have to be. And then finally, I have the scene tool. Currently, it only supports the tree format, but I will work on that. Let's go ahead and load scene 0. Oh, well, yeah, 0. Okay, so this is all the crap that's in room 1 of scene 0. I have a help screen in case I forget what I'm doing here. So if I type object, it creates an interactable object. This would be like the crate that's in the scene. An item is something that can be in the player's inventory and is not the same as an object. So that would be like the SIGs I was showing before. A room is a new room or directory tree that I can go to. A script is kind of like 0 is run every time I enter a room. That's just a quick way to do stuff like that. A trigger is, honestly, these are kind of redundant because a trigger runs when I type a specific thing of text. I use this for the room where you go to A and B, or there's two doors, A and B, and they both take you to C where the watch is. I used a trigger in, I believe it was B, to teleport you to A/C. You can make it whatever you want. Just as long as you type the trigger name, it does the thing. This I never ended up using. I should remove that. So then you can edit things. There's markers. Those are just used in certain scripts and stuff. Help displays this screen. Nuke deletes everything. Load loads a different screen. Blah blah blah. Anyway, so let's go ahead and let's make a new object. And enter a name for the object, and we'll call it a table. And then it opens up Nano again, and I can write all the code for the table. So let's go ahead and just write. Yep, that's a table. And we'll go ahead and save that. And now we have the table. And then if I want to, I think I could just type east if I want to. Yeah, and then it takes me into the eastern room. And I can move around that way. And then I can edit anything with a file extension, so any of my scripts or anything, I believe, just by typing in this name. Yep. And yeah, that's just way easier than doing all of this and like copying every single time. Like I get the 0 and the 1. This automatically creates all of those. Oh, that's why I use the script command. If I type script, it just automatically keeps adding a new one and sequencing the number up each time, which is different than the triggers where I have to give it a name. But yeah, don't really have a crazy amount to show off. Like I said, there's actually quite a bit of changes, but a lot of it's bug fixes and just reworks just the way things work. But yeah, that's all I got for now. One last quick note, I can also load ANVIL and the debugger from the console. Nothing special there, just I can do that.